past week?
Well, we're doing well. Just moving on. Tough break for us, but not near as difficult as many here in the state of Texas have had to endure. That's for sure. So we can't complain.
Have the players that are actually in the protocol, have they been allowed to come back to San Antonio yet?
Very honestly, I think maybe some have and some haven't. It's, based on the procedures the league has and retesting people. But, they're a total of 5. And everybody else practiced today. Some of the G League guys came up. And it's really the first time on the court in, I'm not sure now, 8 or 9 days, whatever it is. But just trying to get him in some modicum of shape and, get back to executing and trying to do things well. But Wednesday's going to come pretty quickly.
How did that practice look, given everything that you just mentioned?
I think they were probably a little bit winded, but we did a lot of scrimmaging so we could get back to basketball, start to feel each other. Obviously the lineups are lineups that they're not used to. So a little bit of on-the-job training.
All right, thanks.
You bet.
Thank you, Jeff. Let's go to Tim Reynolds from AP. Tim.
Hi, Pop. It's good to see you.
Hi.
Pop, how do you put everything in its proper place in perspective right now? I mean, like you alluded to, your state is reeling. You've got 5 guys dealing with this virus. DeMar's going through a personal tragedy. How do you find the perspective and the proper and what do you tell players about keeping that sense of perspective right now?
We've always had the philosophy that there are always people or groups of people who have it worse than you do. And considering our positions in this world, we're very, very well off. And so complaining or feeling sorry for oneself, that's not in the picture. It's inappropriate, not deserved. Only thank yous for what we all have. So, at this time, you just think about all the people that have gone through hell. And as we've seen from all the reports, it didn't have to be that way. But a little bit of either sloth or incompetence or, lack of attention to detail with the job. It's a situation that did not have to happen. And you don't have to be a Republican or a Democrat or an independent to figure that out. The facts are right there. And it's a damn shame.
Thank you, Pop.
Thank you, Tim. Let's go to Tom Orsborn from the Express News. Tom.
Pop, how did LA look in practice? How did he hold up? And are you optimistic about him going tomorrow?
Well,
on Wednesday.
We'll reevaluate him tomorrow, but he did fine. I asked him, he said he didn't feel anything. I'm sure he was probably a little winded because he's been out for a while, but he did well.
How is DeMar holding up?
Well, as well as anyone would expect when you lose a parent. Yeah. It's a difficult situation, but I've been in touch with him, and he's a very mature, kind man, and he's doing what he needs to do with his family right now.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Tom. Let's go to Mike Finger from the Express News. Mike.
Pop, you had mentioned the last time we talked to you, I think.
Mike, we got you.
Are you here?
Yep, go ahead.
Pop, you mentioned the last time we talked to you about staying vigilant in terms of COVID and making, that this wasn't close to being over with. Were you able to tell from contact tracing or anything that you learned about how this happened? Was it a lack of vigilance? Was it just bad luck? Do you have any idea how this kind of took place?
No, I don't think it had anything to do with lack of vigilance. If you talk to people who have gotten COVID, most people don't really know where they got it. and whatever tracing has been done, obviously we're all, carrying those little gizmos for tracing, but the league has all that information as far as, where they think it might have come from, but I haven't had any news about where it came from.
And do you have, personally, the coaching staff, do you know dates on when any of these guys could come back that you're planning for? They have a protocol, that they're in, but each one is a little bit different, and it depends on the testing that they do. So I think a few more days, the quarantine period ends, but then there's a couple of days of more tests to see how it's affected them, in other ways medically. So they might be negative, but they still have to go through some more testing to make sure that it's safe for them to continue. So I don't really have a final date. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mike. I'll give you guys about 5 more seconds. If anyone has any questions, raise your hands. All right. Thank you, Pop. We appreciate you. We'll see you on.
Okay.
Thank you guys for jumping on.